Hey guys, I hope you're doing well. I hope life is treating you great. I hope you're living your best life. I just want to say thank you for clicking onto this video. Please share and press that like button. Okay? I'm just gonna, man, I look around the world. I look everywhere, I look at groups of people, and I look at how the world is at the moment and where the world is headed, and the progress that's happening around the world among different peoples, And I ask myself a question: what is it in Africa that we're getting so wrong, that everyone else is going past us? Everyone is going past us. This will be a series, I think, in a way. I'm going to be bringing up these points, but I'm just going to talk about a few things today. The reason why I believe African leaders don't get, things I believe African leaders don't get, like they don't really understand. One of the things I've come to realize is there's a huge disconnect between presidents and young people and the youth. I think most African presidents still believe in the fact that everything European is good for you, is good for Africa. Europe is the savior of Africa. Most of our leaders believe this. They don't have faith in their own people. There's no faith. There's no belief in their own people. They don't believe that if they invested in their people, they will have a better life, a better ending story to their life. This is what I mean by this. Look at, let's say you look at what happened in Burkina Faso. President Thomas Sankara gets shot. Compaoré, who was his best mate, takes over. He actually sort of orchestrated the whole thing of killing Thomas Sankara. Now, where's Compaoré today? He's not in Burkina Faso. He has no country to call home. He's on the run. So, what did Compaoré benefit from killing Thomas Sankara? If you really think about it, nothing. But at that time, this man was thinking about the now. So 1987 or 83, when I think it was 87, when Thomas Sankara was killed, Compaoré was thinking about the today. He wasn't thinking about the future. And because he wasn't thinking about the future, he has no future. Even though he ruled for 20-something years, at the end of the day, he lost. He lost. Now, this is how most Africans think. They think about the now. So they go to, let's say, France, and they make a deal. And France says, we're going to give you $5 million. This is into your personal account. And we're going to come there and we're going to take the oil, we're going to take this and we're going to take that. And you sign that deal, right? For France, what they're going to earn in the 27 years you're going to be a leader is billions and billions and billions of dollars. You're going to have that $5 million. Most of our presidents don't even have financial literacy. They're going to start living like a rapper. Rappers these days give up to them. They're way smarter than they were 20 years ago. Our presidents ain't even smart. So they'll take the $5 million, they're going to waste it. Whereas for France, they're going to take billions of dollars, take that money, invest it into their own people, and their own people are going to create industries. With the money that you, as a president, you could have invested in your own people, and you could have had a better ending to your life once you invest in your people. This is where we don't really get it. Look how Mobutu Sese Seko died. If you look at the way Mobutu died, he died like a dog. No one cared. You know, Mobutu could have died a hero had he invested in his own people. You know, you respecting Europe, they don't respect you. They've never have. And they'll never do. You know, they use you to get what they want so they can invest in their own people. And no one is stopping you from saying, guess what? I'm not going to go for this BS. I'm going to invest in my own people. So that's one thing African leaders are not getting. That investing in your own people has a better ending for you than you aligning yourselves with Europeans. You know, so we have to have leaders that are thinking about us. This is why Rwanda has been doing so well. You know, because they have a president. I don't care what most of you say, think of Kagame and say this. He has to be like that. He has to be a disciplinarian. Because African people, we are so far behind. We are so far gone mentally. So you need a leader who's going to look harsh. But at the same time, he's looking harsh because he has he has your best interest. He has the people's best interest. You know, if you look at most people in Rwanda, I was listening to this lady who was like a Rwandese returnee. You know, she went away, I think she was in Canada, and she's come back. And one of the tours, she takes people willing to invest. So she had a bunch of, you know, Canadians, white people, with her. And they got to this place, which is like one of those, what do you call it? Like, it has this biogas thing where the water comes up bubbling and all that. You know, they have a lot of volcanoes there and hills in Rwanda. But that thing has become a business to the people around this area. You know, and people go there as a massage thing, and the kids have learned how to massage and all this thing. And when this woman showed up with a bunch of white people, what the kids asked her is like, you're not coming here to take our thing, right? Because they see white people. Now, why were they able to do that? Because they have a president who's taught them that everything in this country belongs to you and you should never let anyone come and tell you otherwise. You know, and they said it, this is our source of income. This is where we are making money. And our president have told us that this is ours. Okay, that's one thing most African presidents don't do. Okay? Most African presidents don't do that because there's a disconnect. Most of these presidents don't believe in their own people. Once you have a president who believes in their people, you are seeing things move so fast. Look what happened in Tanzania during Magufuli. You know, Africa, here's the other thing. There's a thing called leverage. Right? In every business you do. One thing I've realized, you know, I've worked for corporations and corporations. One thing I've realized, most of these corporations don't even have money. They owe big banks money. You know, they get money from the stock market most of the time. But most of it is, at the end of the day, they don't have a lot of like profit. So they make money, right? But then it has to go to this bank, pay off the loan. Because most of the projects they do are worth billions of dollars. You know, and they don't have like capital to come up with that kind of money. So they go and borrow. You know, and once they start making money, they have to pay off this thing. But what are they using as leverage? They are using what they're doing as leverage. So you know what? We've sent out people to, you know, explorers, like exploration, oil drills or gold or whatever. And we've discovered gold. We've discovered that there is about, you know, $100 billion worth of gold on this land. And for us to start digging up, we need to construct this. We need about $5 billion. And then they go around, pitch to banks and whoever. And they even go in the stock market to generate that income for them to use and start digging up this gold. You know, for most part, there's no huge profits left because they have to, but as long as everyone gets paid, these corporations keep going on and on and on for years and years and years. And employees get paid, managers get paid, everyone is getting paid. The people that loan them, businesses that loan them, they get paid. That's leverage in a lot of things that you do. In a lot of things. People in the Western world are able to buy houses. Most people, no one is paying cash for these houses. They get a mortgage. Mortgage is pretty much leverage. Where you go, you say, I make $200,000 a year. You know, if you give me a mortgage for $1 million home, I'm not going to struggle to pay you whatever, let's say $50,000 a year for the next, because I'm making so much money. So you leverage the money you're making for the loan, for the mortgage. You know, you don't even have to have money in the Western world. People who live in the Western world, you agree with me. You don't have to have money. You know, I can literally buy a house every year if I want to. It's possible. I don't even have to have money. All I need to do is, okay, I got this house that I've owned for the last 3 years. I got maybe $100,000 equity in this house. You know, I go around, find the cheaper house. That's cheap at the moment. Maybe needs $30,000 putting it to renovate it. I buy that house. I put it on rent. Or I do Airbnb. That house brings me money for the year. And within that year, and because I invested 30 grand in it, you know, I might find out by the end of the 12 months, I got another 100K equity on it. And because I was receiving rent is added. That rent is added to my income already. So my income goes up. And then I use that again to buy another house. It's as simple as that. I can have 5 houses worth $5 million. And I might even have just $100,000 in my account. But have equity in those houses. So I'm leveraging. The whole business in the Western world is about leveraging. You know, why am I saying this? In Africa, we got resources. You know, the problem is we don't even understand the value of these resources. Our leaders don't get it. Don't understand the value of the resources. You know, that's why we give them away in their raw form, because we don't understand the value. There's a link at the president not understanding the value of the resource, or the government not understanding the value of the resources, the people not understand the value of the resources, and then the government not having faith in its own people. Because imagine, if today the government, I'll give you an example. I take my kids to this, to high school. You know, she's in year 7 Australia now, it's high school. I didn't even know that until it turned out she was going to high school. So I take her to a school, to a new school. These kids, it's a very, very good school. You know, there's kids learning automotive. This is high school. You know, there's kids learning, you know, coding. There's kids learning all sorts of things for the future at a very young age. You know, in Africa, in most schools, we are learning theory. It's still theoretical. You know, these guys have a whole garage teaching kids automotive repairs, cars, and this stuff like that, with the new batteries and all these things. They're learning. By the time they leave high school, they just need to go and do a certificate, and they can go and get a job. As easy as that. And in the process, when you start putting these things in their head at a very young age, they'll become innovative, and they start creating things. This is why the Western world right now, technology is moving so fast, because kids, there's money invested in them at a very young age, so that by the time they have 5 years of pretty much training before they even graduate, their mind is always become innovative, and they're coming up with new ideas on how to improve the current technology and take it to the next level. In Africa, you're not going to find that. You know, because the leaders don't believe in their own people. You know, before we even come to this thing of, you know, same currency, high-speed trains, and all these things, you know, already we have the African Free Trade Agreement. You know, but the people don't realize why this is important. So we can have all these things, but as long as the people are not empowered, we're not going to go anywhere. You know, our people need empowerment. The leaders need to realize that Africa has massive reserves of natural resources. And let's use that to leverage investments. African governments, by investing in their own people, can actually afford to send up exploration everywhere. They're discovering oil, they're discovering gas, they're discovering everywhere in Africa. So any country can actually become up the ministry of, you can call it exploration or discoveries or whatever, you know, and pumping money, send kids outside to go and study about these explorations and all this stuff. Let them come back and pumping money. So when you discover, let's say you have oil in your country, or let's say you discover that you have even copper, because I tell you what, copper is the new oil. You can easily bring in investment by saying, you know what, we've discovered that there is about maybe $20 billion worth of copper in this area, right? But this is what we want to do. You can come. You're not talking to the investors. You can come and start mining the copper, or you can even come and check it out yourself. See if what we are telling you is the truth. But before you start mining this copper, we want a $5 billion investment in infrastructure in this area. Before you dig an ounce of copper from this area, an ounce of gold, before you take out a liter of oil, you know, we want a $5 billion investment in infrastructure, in the people especially, in this area. You know, so that we spend the next year educating the people about the jobs that are coming with this industry that's going to be established in this area. We put up infrastructures, you know, better roads, hospitals, and all these things before they even start digging up anything. That's leveraging. Once these things come out, you're going to see that people are going to benefit more when the mines now start operating. Because people know you're going to have to employ these people. You know, there's courses that they can do within 12 months. You know, just to give them a heads up about what's coming. You know, so they can become boilermakers, they can become technicians, they can become all sorts of things and earn a good living. You know, people ain't going to be wasted like what's happening in Mozambique right now. No one is going to be motivated to start fighting, because they know, they've already seen what you've done. They've already seen the investments that are coming. You know, but our leaders don't have faith. This is why everyone in Africa comes and steals from us. You know, I heard in the Congo recently, a Jewish dude ripped them out of $4 billion. And the saddest thing is that when people discovered that hill or mountain of gold, the government went and confiscated their gold. But then they let the Jewish guy take $4 billion away from them. You know, this is what I'm saying. Before we do anything, whether it's having one currency, whether it's having first of all, we have to empower the people. The African presidents don't get this, and I hope they watch me one day and realize that it's actually possible. You have faith in your people. There's a lot of smart kids out there. And what's going to happen is the people are going to outsmart the government. And this is why, if you look at what's happening in Nigeria, right? They got issues there, but I'm just going to talk about this. If you look at Banana Island just full of people. Kids, young people, old people that are business-minded, that some of them working with the government and all those things, but a lot of them, they're just individual businesses, you know, who've made it. You know, some of them living abroad or whatever. You know, and they've created a place, a way of life they want. You know, the governments are behind. What's really going to happen in Africa is that the people are going to outsmart the government. And if the government doesn't catch up to that, they're going to start fighting the people's progress. And then they're going to be a problem. No president is going to be safe. Empowering the people first is the most important thing. You know, Removing that mindset of inferiority that our people have is the greatest thing an African president can do. Making the people see that they are the ones who are rich. Because it's Africa. Because Africa is the richest continent on this planet. What do we need to follow? We need to follow what the Chinese have done. The Chinese wanted to be on the space station. All these countries that own the space station, you know, America and Russia, they say no. And Japan, they say no. You know what the Chinese did? They went and created their own. That's even better than the current space station. And it's like a dock for the aircraft that are going to Mars. They got docked and then they get fired to Mars. It's going to make the trip even quicker. You know, better than what SpaceX is doing. That's because the Chinese have now realized that you move faster as a country, and as a government, you have a better ending when you invest in your own people. Then you're going to die a hero. You're not going to die like Mobutu Sese Seko. People are going to respect you. You have to invest in your own people. It's the only way you're going to move forward. Invest in your people. We can have all these high-speed trains that are coming up. That's good. Taiwan started the same thing. But the difference is the Taiwanese government invested in its own people. Now they build their own high-speed trains. Is Kenya? Is Nigeria? Is Ghana? Is Morocco? Is Ethiopia investing in its own people so that in the next 10 years they can be producing their own high-speed trains? Are they doing it? This is, like I said, guys, this is going to be a series. Please drop down a comment. Let me know what you think. But I think these are some of the things the African presidents are not getting. Thank you for watching my videos, and please subscribe. Goodbye.